What's up, world? What's up, everybody? What's up? Welcome back to According to a Black Girl. It's your girl, TC, and I'm back and I'm here to share my experiences still. And not only to talk about corporate, but traveling and just day to day on how I live my life every day as a Black girl. All the things that I talk about are subjective. You can agree to disagree. It doesn't really matter. I'm just speaking my truth. So today I wanted to talk about, drum roll, please. I almost lost my mic trying to do the drum roll. But I wanted to talk about girls' trips. It could be girls' trips, it could be best friend trips, it could be anything that has to do with a vacation-esque trip with cousins, females, best friends, boyfriend, whatever. I just came to talk about my experience. Me and my best friends, we recently went to Denver, and expectation versus reality is something real. Um, and I just kind of wanted to talk through some of the challenges that I faced, or that I felt like I faced. It may not have been challenges. I may have could have just had a sidebar with one of my friends, or both, all of them actually. But one thing that I noticed about all of us is we tend to not necessarily sugarcoat, but we try to go with the flow, and it doesn't always end up working out the way that it should. And again, I don't know if y'all know this, but I'm a little bit of an overthinker. I'm a little anal about certain things and how things are supposed to go, and just it just irks my nerves when things aren't supposed to be, or things aren't going the way that they're supposed to be. So all that to say, I've had my fair share of trips. I've been on trips with families, like weddings and stuff like that, and then like local. I mean, this was a local domestic trip to not Virginia, to Denver. Virginia must be wanting me to be there next. But no, I've gone to different places with family. I've been to like Houston with family on family vacations, and I've been to Gatlinburg, and j- Houston was a fail. Gatlinburg, not so much. Gatlinburg was actually pretty cool. And I went to Dominican Republic for a wedding. It was also a fail. And by fail, I mean like it was a fail. I mean, like, the trip was great itself, but some of the things that happened, I was young. Don't blame me. And if I ever get an opportunity to apologize to my cousin, y'all, I will. I'm sorry about the sidebar, but expectations versus reality, and then dealing with different personalities. So one thing that I tried to do prior to this trip, first of all, Denver was not my choice. I would rather be somewhere sunny with some sand. That's just my preference. But we tried to go on, it's four of us. We tried to go on trips that, or go to places that none of us have ever been. I've been to LA, Los Angeles a few times. My daughter and myself and my mom, we've taken trips out there. And I kind of wanted to go, but not necessarily everybody else. And I guess that's cool. I always know like the expectation of LA, so I like going. And it's mostly because like again, it's familiarity. Like, you get a little bit familiar with places and things and doing stuff, so you want to keep doing it. So Denver was a choice from one of my friends. She actually one friend said, "Hey, let's go to Denver," and the other friend said, "Denver's cool." So I was like, "Okay, cool. We can go to Denver. We can do Denver." The last girls' trip that we were on all together was New Orleans. We all went to New Orleans for a birthday of one of my best friends. And New Orleans is New Orleans. You kind of know what you're gonna get. You're gonna get good seafood. I think the seafood is good. Not everybody thinks the seafood is good, but I do. And that's for my best friend. She knows who she is because she is such a picky person. Ugh, I don't love her taste buds, but whatever. So on this trip, we chose Denver. I've never been to Denver. None of them have ever been to Denver. So we choose this place. And I work in corporate, so I can get discounts on certain things. And hotel rooms is that certain thing, right? So I was like, okay, I can get the rooms. No big deal for me. I can get the rooms. But then I thought about it a little bit more. I have that same friend that has the weird taste buds. They're not weird, I'm just joking. But she is the type of person that has to have something outlined for each day, something that we're doing for each day. So I thought to myself, hey, let me do a schedule. Let me, get ideas from the ladies and come up with like a structured schedule for us to, something for us to go through and do each day. So that my friend, it's a couple of them. One of them says they're not structured, but they really are. Trust me, they're structured. So I'm like, okay, in the back of my mind, this is going to happen. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to create a schedule. So I got ideas from everybody. We have a group chat on WhatsApp where we go back and forth and talk and stuff like that. So I'm throwing out different ideas. It's Denver, so obviously we're trying to go skiing. We've never been skiing. So obviously we're looking for lessons and not just trying to ski. There was a lot of resorts that are close. Like, first of all, it's June. We're going towards the end of June. So it's really literally no snow in Denver, well, Colorado, Denver. It's no snow where we're going. So I'm looking around online, and really everybody that had a resort, if there was snow, they would say, if you're a beginner skier, this is not the time to learn. Which I thought was hilarious. I was like, oh, wow, they are really being honest here. So all that to say, I went back to the girls and the ladies and basically said, hey, there are no ski resorts that we can go to. I couldn't even find like a lift that we could, try to take to go around a mountain. I couldn't find none of that. Or the ones that I found, they were all sold out. So, and I was planning this like 2, maybe 3 weeks out. So I was like, okay, let's pivot, let's shift, let's think of other things that we can do. So I kind of came up with a couple of things, and I ran across them and they were like, okay, let's do it. So some of the things that I thought about doing were like wine tastings, to just go to like wine places and do like different wine tastings for a few hours and just to kick it and enjoy each other and laugh and talk about different things, which we didn't do. We really got a little tipsy at this winery place, but don't judge us. And also I thought that it would be a great idea to go to like a jazz place because we're not young, even though we want to be. We're not young at all. And we all actually got very exhausted. So we went to this jazz place. And I don't think my friends had a good time at this place. And I can understand why. I do feel like that was more of a pick for me because I love like music and pianos and just I like anything instrumental, anything that's going to be musically inclined because I've always had a love for music that's just part of me and who I am. But anyway, all that to say, I don't think my friends loved it, and I really should have connected with them to kind of get a feel for what they wanted to do. And I will say the jazz bar was quite pricey, but it came with a 3 course meal. And unfortunately, my friends hated, let me say that again, they hated the food. I think by that time they were just kind of done. They were like, no, this was the first night, but what I should have done is connected with each person to talk through what was chosen. Actually, we should have all gotten on a call, but it's very difficult to get on the call. But with these types of things, I think it's very important for everyone to commit to contribute some type of thought and some type of idea to a trip, especially if you're going on this trip. And what happened with this trip is, to me, I felt like it put a lot of pressure on me because nobody enjoyed pretty much anything. Everybody was just, except for one thing, and that was a rooftop bar. And who's not going to enjoy that? Don't know. So yeah, I think it's very important for everyone that is contributing and going on this trip, in order for everybody to have some type of fun. I feel like it's so important for everybody to contribute to ideas and thoughts and places and where they want to go and what they want to do. Expectation versus reality. You know, you might have an expectation, but everybody else may have a different expectation. So just make sure when you're planning a trip with other people and you're involving other people, especially if it's not like a wedding or some type of situation, if it's just a fun trip, make sure everybody is contributing to that trip, because that's hella important. You want everybody to have fun and not just yourself. And I think a lot of what was happening on this trip is because I planned it and because I was thinking about all these things, even though I ran the ideas across the ladies, it was just more so of them saying, yeah, that sounds good. Okay, do it. Even though they liked having structure, they really don't like having structure. And I say that jokingly because almost everything we were kind of late for. Everything. So just be mindful of your group and what they like to do. So yeah, another thing is, I would say, make sure you're open to different things when you're with a group of friends, or you're with a group, or you're somewhere that you've never been. Just make sure you're open to experiences, open to foods, open to different wines and different drinks, and open to different places. Like, of course, you kind of want to be doing some of the same things that you're doing. You want to go to the movies. You want to, do some of the same things that you do at home and experience it, but you're in a different city. Experience the city. To me, this is like the most important thing when you're traveling to different places, is to experience locals, experience different things that are in the city, because it's important to kind of get a feel for the city. Like, you can go to the movies, or you can do some of the same things that you do in your own city, but if you have an opportunity to experience different, foods and wines and drinks and places, do that. Because how many opportunities, how many chances are you going to get to be in another city? Especially like if you have kids and you have a day-to-day life, and this is your vacation time. So consider that. But yeah, I just kind of wanted to talk through some of the challenges that I faced, not talking collectively to my group, to get a feel for actually what they wanted to do. I do feel like that was a fail on my end, but I had a good time. I hope they were able to experience some things that they never experienced, because that was like the goal. I will say I was a little bit drained after the trip, but that was my fault because I stayed all day in the airport. I got a late flight, so. But yeah, just think about your group. Think about your expectations versus reality when you are planning a trip or doing a trip, because you just want to be considerate. That's all I got today. Thank y'all for listening, and I hope you have a beautiful, fabulous day. Happy 2021.